It's the Dave and Doc Podcast. Doctor recommended. Take only as directed. May cause dizziness, blurred eyesight, a sense of nervousness, anxiety, loss of sleep, diarrhea, a sense of wonderment, a new meaning of life, minor memory loss, and could cause BO in rare occasions.
Hello, hello.
Happy day. Show number 50 on the way.
Episode 50.
Woo, woo. Oh, I actually got to do it this way. Is that? No, it don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
5050, gotta go.
It's either episode 5 or episode 50. It's one or the other. The Dave and Doc Podcast. I'm Dave.
And I am Doc.
And all things Dave and Doc are available on the website, DaveDoc050. That's Dave, DaveDoc050.com.
Love it.
Thanks for listening, watching.
All the things.
And whatever else you do.
Welcome back.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yes, we missed a couple weeks. Had some gymnastics showcase stuff and you know some different events and things and
Had the Nuggets party. Yeah.
Trace Cumpleaños. Third birthday. It's not third.
Two bounce houses.
Yes.
And Nugget found one and just kind of hung out, and everybody said, well, let's just go to the other one because he's in that one. He just hung out in the bounce house. So
he did trip and fall on the deck, and it was like nothing happened, and he definitely face planted, but he was like,
you can't hurt that.
So there you go.
I'm also wearing the official "Thank you very much, Doc."
Hey,
the Dave and Doc.
That's a Laura.
T-shirt.
That's a Laura. It's
a little. It
looks like
large.
it's a little bit of a sleeper, but it is in red. I will point out it is in red.
Yes.
And it's the appropriate red, pretty darn close. That's intentional, of course. So appreciate that.
We talked a little bit ago. I think I'm turning you. I think you're becoming a Niners fan.
I'm telling you, man. I never thought that would happen, but I'm telling you, I find myself rooting for him. I do.
Well,
which is a good thing. I mean, you know, of course, the city. Of course, they play in Santa Clara, so
they're in Santa Clara now.
But man, we talked about that.
Oh,
before.
yeah.
It's just really gone downhill.
The shitty,
which is bad.
It's not even a city; it's the shitty.
It is, man, and that's a shame. So anyway,
I have exclusive audio, by the way, from someone who walked through downtown San Francisco. It was, they walked, it was the first time they had ever been to the city, and they got out of their car and they walked around. Oh, shit! And that was it. That was exclusive audio.
That was their first take.
Yeah.
Said, oh, there it is.
Because they stepped in it.
Yes,
probably.
They probably did. It's just dry or vomit.
How sad is that, though? What a great city. Beautiful city.
I know. It was beautiful. When Laura and I visited there, lots of cool things, and of course, it's not far away from Muir Woods, which we took a tour of, and all that. So lots of fun stuff. Alcatraz, all the things.
And Journey loved it because that's where they were from.
That's where they were from. I know. I know. Right.
City by the bay.
That's it.
Whoa,
Jefferson Starship.
Whoa.
Jefferson Starship. We built this city.
Yeah.
Lot of history, but yeah, it's just they.
How can you build a city on rock and roll and it just go to shit like that?
I know.
I don't understand.
I guess maybe we got a little too woke. I don't know. That's terrible.
Well, that's the entire state of California.
Well, that's probably true. Which is why we have a lot of people migrating.
A little too woke.
A lot of people migrating. The politics just got to be too much.
Too
much.
Isn't that pretty telling?
And the taxes too. Good gracious.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Living. Yeah. Yeah.
That's hard. It's the hard knock life for us. Anyway. Speaking of the hard knock life.
It's a hard.
I was trying to have some Memorial Day jokes because I'm not sure if we'll get that show in because we're going to the beach and whatnot. But the Memorial Day, they just weren't so good. So I'm gonna try to so instead of that, I just life's kind of a gamble. So the theme for this week is just going to be gambling. It just kind of came to me yesterday, kind of last night. I was like, maybe we should have some gambling dad jokes. Because sports betting big. All the parlays and the legs, and people are missing like one out of six. There's 6 things, and LeBron can't hit 2 3-pointers and crap like that. It's like, man, this is terrible. So I thought we would do some gambling dad jokes. So you ready?
I'm completely ready. Totally ready.
What did the rabbit say to the lion at the roulette table?
What?
I'm glad you're not a cheetah.
Oh, no. Thought that might be going a different direction.
What do you call an iguana that runs a casino?
What's that?
The Lizard of Odds.
My God. Really? Really?
Why wouldn't the sesame seed leave the casino?
Why?
Because he was on a roll.
Oh, no.
Why don't vampires like gambling?
I don't know.
They get nervous when the stakes are raised.
Oh. No.
What do you call a professional poker player who broke up with his girlfriend?
What's that?
Homeless.
Oh.
Why should you never play poker with an alligator?
What?
You will lose every hand.
Oh, no. I don't even know what to say about that. That's awful.
What would Batman do if he was losing at poker?
What's that?
He would summon the Joker. These are great. I could go all day. Oh, my goodness. Hold up. All right, we'll do one more. Well, maybe 2 more. No, we'll do one more.
I apologize, ladies.
Why did the British blonde bring French fries to the casino?
Oh, why?
And I knew that was your mind went way the wrong way.
Oh, yes.
So why did the British blonde bring French fries to the casino?
French fries to the casino? Why is that?
She was told to bring her own chips.
Oh.
He did. That's not what you thought.
Nope.
I love those, man. Those are good. Those Memorial Day jokes I was trying to look at. Those were bad. Oh, no, last one. Sorry, I can't get away from it. What's the difference between casino players and politicians?
Oh, no, what's that?
Casino players tell the truth sometimes.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway. And there you have it, folks. We rattled off about 10.
That was good.
That's like a world record.
That was good.
Because they were quick and pretty funny and you didn't like the iguana.
No, I didn't
You thought that one was going. You thought
the blonde
got a lizard in the pocket, and then the blonde with the French fries. It didn't quite go the way we had planned it.
No, the blonde was good.
Okay, you like that? Was good. Okay, good. That's good. We got a couple in there.
Even though I'm not normally a blonde fan,
it's okay.
More of a redhead fan. Just so we know, I like the color red. That's just kind of who I am. Hey, it's a big day. This is
when we named all famous redheads one show. I do remember that. We were going back and forth on all that. Yes, so it's a red letter day 50.
Yeah, we've hit 50. Episode 50, and so I thought
you can find us in the club, bottle full of bub.
Right.
Go shorty, it's your birthday.
Was that 50 Cent?
Yeah, man.
Was that 50? Okay.
Damn.
He's the one that got shot like 1,000 times, right?
He got I don't think it was 1,000, but he got shot.
He got jacked the hell up.
Yeah.
50 Cent hanging upside down at the Super Bowl. Good God. 85 pounds overweight.
Yeah, he's
Speaking of overweight, I've lost now about 10 pounds, by the way. Yes.
Good job. Good job, man. Getting back after it.
I am, yeah.
Lean, mean, fight machine.
I was looking at some of my medical records because I do that every once in a while. You remember when I was at like 140 pounds?
Yes.
I
remember we were actually at.
I think we had a conversation about that. Like you were like, yeah, you probably need to.
It was you got a little too lean. It was a little too lean. I got a little worried, and we talked about that. That was a little too lean. No, I remember we were actually at. I guess it was Donna's house. Yeah, and it was. I don't remember why we were there. It was for something, but. And I remember Lindsay was like, would you please tell him to eat a sandwich? Just tell him to eat a sandwich. Do something because he's just... And I was like, we might have gotten a little too lean. Yeah, and then we saw you not too long ago, and it was like, yeah, brother, it might be a little too much.
Yeah.
But you were a lean, mean fight machine. There was no doubt.
My goal is to hang around about 155, 160.
I think that's a good goal.
That's where I'm at.
You'll feel good, and we won't be quite so thin. Because it probably was a little much.
I think
was
so.
a little much.
Yeah.
So it's good though. But I'm proud of you for the weight loss. I mean, that's never easy to do. And as we all have more birthdays, the metabolism betrays us more and more, and that gets harder and harder. So kudos for fighting with it.
What he's saying is I'm old as shit.
No,
it's episode 50, and I'm on my way there.
You're almost there. Yeah, but no, it is. It just your body, everything just kind of slows down. So
I'm going to be 47 in like a few months.
How about that?
47. Who the heck? I don't want to be 47.
I know, man. Right, right. 47. 47. Ronin. Ha!
I don't feel 47.
You ever see that movie? 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves.
I don't know. Did I see that?
It's like a samurai thing.
I did.
I'm like, I don't know about this. I watched about the first 15 minutes and I turned it off.
It was about as good as Sharktopus versus Werewolf. That's a real movie, folks.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Sharktopus.
Sharknado. Multiple Sharknados with Ian Ziering.
Oh, no.
Who embraced the stupidness of the... Yes, anyway, let's get away from
Beverly Hills 90210. They were from Minnesota, right? That's where they were from.
Oh, Brandon and Brenda Walsh.
And
Brenda.
Yeah.
Shannon Doherty.
Yeah.
Jason Priestley. They were not really from Minnesota, but yes, they moved from Minnesota.
From the show, they moved from Minnesota.
The Walshes. Yeah. Yes. Good memory.
That was actually in a song from the song "Outshined" from Soundgarden. Chris Cornell.
Oh,
he said, "I'm something California, but I'm feeling Minnesota." I mean, he made a joke about Beverly Hills 90210. But anyway, there's some deep cut stuff for you.
There you go.
Chris Cornell, who's no longer with us.
Yeah, Luke Perry no longer with us. Massive stroke, whatever it was.
No, it was. Was it Luke Perry?
Yeah,
or was it?
Mm-hmm. No, Luke Perry died.
I knew one of them.
Yeah, it was him.
One of them.
Dylan McKay. Yeah,
it was Luke Perry. That's
Luke
right.
Perry. Yeah.
Hottie McCotterson's still alive, right? The blonde. What's
Jenny
her name?
Garth.
Yeah,
she's still alive.
Yeah, Hottie McCotterson.
Yeah,
that's her. that's my
Kelly Taylor.
Kelly Taylor. Yes,
who's also blonde. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes,
she's Hottie McCotterson.
Yeah, she was my favorite too.
Yeah, she was good looking. The other girl I didn't really like that much.
Tori Spelling.
Or
Shannon Doherty. Or both.
Tori Spelling.
Yeah.
Because she just kind of looked like a.
Choose your next words carefully, Leonidas. They may be your last.
Right. I just didn't find her attractive.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Brian Austin Green looking like a prepubescent
and here's
teenager.
There's a dude that left 90210 and ended up marrying
Megan Fox.
Mm-hmm. It's like, dude, you were the Vanilla Ice wannabe. I mean, he was. He looked like Vanilla Ice. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. I mean,
I'm not sure Megan Fox is stable. I don't know her, obviously. She's from Tennessee.
As you and I know, sometimes the hotter ones are not very stable.
I think that's fair.
Yes, like myself. Like myself. I'm not very stable, but I'm very hot.
Because baby, you're a firework.
Anyway,
there's no. We went.
Good God, I don't know how we got here.
Very
so
tangential. That was
50.
that was not on. Yeah, that was not on the radar.
No.
But we got there. So there you go.
Episode 50. So here's some cool stuff for you.
Yeah.
Fun
facts
on YouTube. We have hit over 1,000 hours of view time.
Oh, that's awesome!
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you, America. Thank you.
Over 30,000
views. Sweet.
418 subscribers and over 2,000 likes. and only a couple of dislikes.
Thank you, people.
I really want to reach out to those folks. I'm like, why didn't you like it?
Can you see who it is?
No.
We can't see who it is. We talked about this before. I think you should be able to see who it is.
So I could just go after them.
Yeah.
And say, it's your problem.
It's like,
what do you mean you don't like it?
What's the matter with you? Why do you not
It's
like
probably our wives.
Why are you listening?
It's probably our wives. Let's be honest.
I mean, that's probably not. I need to put that right there. I don't know.
And TikTok, over 60,000 views.
Oh, wow.
On TikTok.
Wow.
TikTok.
I need to look at you. I'm looking at the stinking monitor and my eyes look like I've got a problem. Keep doing that. Dadgummit. Sorry, America. That's probably where we're getting a dislike. What is wrong with him? He got something wrong with his face.
Doc's got some problems.
That's it, right? Apparently. Look at him. Look at his face. Look at his eyes.
The flea markets today. I'm very excited.
Dude.
At the Knoxville Expo Center.
You're not really going to the flea market.
I'm going with a pocket full of cash, my man. A pocket full of cash.
Oh, what? Hey, Macklemore, can we go thrift shopping? I'm going to pop some tags. Don't tell my wife.
I hate that song, by the way.
Only got $20 in my pocket.
You know,
I'm hunting.
I don't normally criticize local radio.
Smells like R. Kelly sheets.
But that that Star 102.1 Mark and Kim
in the morning. You would do like Immortal Battle with him.
That is some hot garbage because that show.
I wish you were on the radio here so y'all could have like a beef. I'm not kidding.
Listen,
because I think that would be like the funniest thing for Knoxville would be y'all having beef.
My mission would be to shut that radio show down. That would be my
not mission. The station. I mean, some of the
not the station, but the show.
Yeah.
My mission would be to just destroy that.
I get you.
That guy, he really thinks that he is
the bomb.com.
I guess.
The shiznit.
It's like
El Jefe.
You're on a morning show in a 50-something market, like a 53 market or so. I don't know.
I don't even know.
It's not a big market.
I don't even know what that means.
It's not a big market. Like
53.
It's not
3. What is that?
It's they rank the markets.
I mean,
but right.
now, Dave, give me a little credit. I can count. I just don't know what a fit. So
it starts with 1, and then 2. 3. It's like market share actually is what it actually is. So it's I think
what does it go up to?
I think Knoxville is like a 53 or 58 share.
What does it go up to?
I actually don't know. I don't know what it goes to. I just know that they're
is that like mid-level or is that like lower end? That's like mid-level.
Very mid-level.
Okay.
Actually lower, probably a little lower than mid-level.
Okay.
It's just not a huge market. And I'm sorry because all the University of Tennessee fans that are out there are going, what do you mean, man? We're the greatest team in the world. It just is. I mean, because you're competing with
more.
It's just, oh my God.
Hey, about had y'all, I was going to really be razzing you if there was a way to break that ACC contract, and I'd be like, see, y'all got good again, and then you wanted to come to the best and come to the SEC. Fortunately, the ACC lawyers are very brilliant, and they made it basically impossible to get out of that contract.
Yeah, you can't get out of that.
Selling your soul.
Which was how to get into the contract.
Right, exactly. But they're going to fix the revenue, which makes anyway. We got so we're in a lower mid-level market.
So, and you understand you're competing against markets like even like St. Louis is a big one, like St. Louis.
Well,
Missouri.
Sure. What's a big place?
The
gateway
LA,
to the Midwest. Have you been to St. Louis?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Gateway Arch?
I have not seen the Arch.
I've been to St. Louis. Pretty darn cool. I got to go up in there. It's pretty cool.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. This was a long time ago.
So like L.A., Boston, New York,
San Francisco,
New Jersey. Some of these
built this city.
Some of those are just, they're huge markets.
Sure, sure.
Basically, you can look at like whatever market Stern was in,
and that's that's the first thing I thought. I was like, so Howard
I think it's
Stern's
a 53 or 58 share for.
I got you.
For Knoxville. So it's somewhere there. But again, here's a guy who is on. I don't know how long he's been on the air.
A long time.
And again, listen, I've done that job. I get it sometimes, but he really just comes off as kind of a jackass.
I almost feel like some of that's though part of the identity of the show is that's kind of what it's become.
Well,
and maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think part of that is intentional.
I've had a friend and I'm not going to mention the friend or where, but I had a friend who had a off the air situation with him, and basically said the dude's a jackass.
Oh, a situation.
Yes.
Oh.
He basically said the dude basically pulled one of those, "Do you know who I am?"
Oh.
Oh. And I can't say any more than that because it would completely give away all of it.
No,
but,
I got you, brother.
But, yeah.
I got you, man.
But
and that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, it's like, I mean, that happens. I know I've heard stories like that with like news on air, like TV personalities too, locally here, same sort of thing. Not all of them, but I've definitely heard that where they're like, "Do you not know who I am?
Do you know who I am?"
Right. And again, it's kind of that, like I said, it's that mid-level market. Like, yeah, but
Now, I mean, in the Knoxville market, it's big time.
Oh no, absolutely.
Right? I mean, he's like,
absolutely.
and he actually has a YouTube channel, I think, where he walks around in videos and does things around Knoxville.
Did not know that. There you go. There you go.
And I guess we're killing our chances of ever having him on the show, but that's okay.
Maybe he'd want to do battle with you. I don't know.
I'd be fine with that. I'd actually like to start my own morning show and we could just have a beef. I'd be perfectly fine with that. I would not have a problem with that at all. It wouldn't bother me.
It would probably, and the funny thing is, it would help ratings. Obviously for that show, you and me or whoever's on there, and then it would help them too because people love stuff like that.
And Kim, who lives here in Halls.
Yes.
And there was somebody else on the show at one point in time. Like he left.
Yeah.
His name was Bill or something. I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
It was not Bill.
It wasn't Bill. But he was on the show for a little while. But
what was that guy's name? Yeah,
it was because he called it Mark and Kim and somebody
in the morning. Yeah,
and he left to go sell meth.
Kiki.
I'm just kidding.
Kiki. Jean-Claude.
I'm just kidding. He didn't go.
Liam. Was it Liam? I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But yeah. Hollywood Joe, Hollywood Frank.
But it's like
Frank. Was it Frank?
It was Frank.
Oh,
it was. Look at you.
Woo, woo. Oh, it's all in there, baby. It's like Prego.
She's got to shake it. She's got to shake it to get it out.
Oh man, I'm tired as crap today.
I am too, man.
Shoes.
I am too.
But that's all right because we're here for 50. Nifty 50. Frank, Mark, and Kim, and Frank in the morning.
And Frank was actually like a wealth of information. Like I think at one point in time he was kind of the guy that like was pushing some buttons or whatever. And
but like he was actually he had like all the fun facts and all the stuff.
And to Mark, I don't know you personally. But let me just, it's a hard job. It really is. People don't think it is, but like doing a morning show 5 days a week, coming up with material. I mean, hell, it's hard enough for this shit. And we do this once a week.
That's truth. So I mean, and you do all the heavy lifting. I just come to, look sexy.
Well, I can't argue there. I can't argue with that.
I mean, I bring the dad jokes, and
you bring the dad joke,
and I usually have some stuff to talk about. But the organization, I mean, which it's just smoother because you're leading this. That's why it is Dave and Doc. So it just works better. It just means more if Dave has the set. He's got the
means.
Of course, it goes tangential anyway, so we know what's going to happen because that's what we do, and that's fun too. So.
But
anyway,
I don't know the guy personally in his real life.
He has done more than 50 shows, though.
Oh, yeah. And he has sponsors, and he gets paid for this
and
shit.
He actually gets paid, right? I was going to say. And the other thing is he's actually getting paid.
Can you just imagine being Kim, though, and working with him all these years?
I think that would be difficult.
He has to be. So he has to be. But again, I know a story from him off air where it doesn't like.
See, I thought it was just more. That's just kind of the
like his shtick.
Like yeah. The shtick. Look at you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what I was. I was like, yeah, it's just part of the show, and
yeah.
Who knows? And like I said, I don't know anything. I don't know him. So there you go.
Here's what my perception of him is: that he is a jackass.
There you go. I got nothing to base on other than sometimes when he gets fired up on air, and I'm like, I don't really know what that means.
He does say some things at times that have been fun. And again, I haven't listened to the show in years because I used to listen after I canceled satellite radio.
Yes.
Before I started listening to books.
Yeah, right.
Right. I canceled satellite radio. I didn't listen to books, so I would listen to them on my way to. And here, you know what? Hey, in all fairness, I was working at a place that I hated, I despised.
So that actually probably was affecting a little bit of the mood too.
Maybe.
I listened to K-Love and 106.7 The Light.
Can't listen to
the
that.
Ace and TJ.
I can't listen.
Ace and TJ on 93.1 because they play a lot of the 80s and like 90s music. And I know that's a syndicated. I know they're not local,
right?
So it's like John Boy and Billy. They're not local either.
No,
but I did.
I met those guys though.
You met Ace and TJ?
No.
You met John Boy. Did you really?
Yeah. John Isley and Bill James. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Get them on the show.
That's going to be difficult. Those boys.
It'd be like trying to get Ric Flair on the show. It's for the fee of 100,000 Samoans, you can have Ric Flair on the show. No, probably
those boys,
not.
I was at a broadcasting convention that they were at. And as they are on the air, is exactly how they are. Like, that's not a shtick. They're just two guys like us. It's just two guys that like talking about shit. And,
that's awesome. That's probably why it's so popular.
Could not be nicer. And let me tell you something. When it comes to money and radio, those boys, I mean, they probably got to push money out of their way to get to work in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Good for them.
They've got like NASCAR teams.
I mean, it is funny. I think their stuff is funny.
It's funny, but it's funny in the same way that the Comedy Barn is funny in Pigeon Forge, and I won't go because it's just, to me, it's like
man, you are on a roll.
A pig running around is funny, I guess, for a minute, but holy shit, at some point in time, just give me some bacon. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I've had this conversation with Lindsay because Lindsay and I, we have very good God, I don't know how we got here, but we've had very different. Like what Lindsay thinks is funny and what I think is funny is very different.
Sure,
right? Like
sure.
I have a very, I have a kind of a dark sense of humor,
raunchy.
Yeah, like things are funny,
dark and raunchy.
Like I've been at funerals before and something makes me laugh.
No.
Oh, well, I've had friends. Listen,
well, I mean, you can it's one thing if it's the eulogy and somebody's making a joke, but. Oh, Dave.
I've delivered a couple of those, and
you gotta those are okay. That's okay to have some humor.
If you ask me to do a eulogy, you just have to understand it is going to be funny.
That's okay.
Like that part's okay. It's going to be comedic, but like a good friend of mine passed away. He had a heart condition, and he actually had a motorcycle, a Harley Davidson, that he had custom painted, and we actually had that at the funeral. Like it was up on the stage or whatever, right? And we're sitting over there, and I'm one of the pallbearers, and and we're sitting there, and I like leaned over to one of the guys, and I'm like, "Hey, look, his tags are expired." Anyway, they were actually expired. And he would have thought,
so was he,
right? And he would have thought that. Oh no! And listen, he would have thought that was hilarious. I'd be.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh man! I got you. I don't know how we're gonna get back. From that.
I mean,
we went from 50 to 50 Cent to Beverly Hills 90210 to Mark and Kim in the morning to people dying and talking about humor at funerals. I left some other stuff. I don't know how we're getting.
I don't know. So
I don't know how we're getting.
I'm just kidding. So I'm super excited for a couple things. The flea market is.
Today. And that was what really got it going.
The flea market is today, and
because you don't like the Macklemore song.
No, and I hate this.
You don't like Thrift Shop?
Again, I was listening to that on Mark and Kim.
Oh,
on my way to that job that I hated.
I mean, Dookie brown leather jacket. I mean, right? Smells like R. Kelly sheets.
I say that like I'm afraid to say.
But it was 99 cents, right?
It was Eagle Bend. That's where I worked, by the way, that I hated.
Well, we just called them out, didn't we, folks?
I just hated that
and
place.
There you go.
I just hated it.
There you go.
I hated it.
I'm sorry for that.
I mean, like I used to get sick to my stomach when I saw the building.
I'm sorry.
It was really to a point where like I can't do this anymore.
I'm sorry. I know I know of Eagle Bend, but I didn't know you hated him that much. I'm sorry. That makes me kind of sad.
It was sad working there.
Well, we've moved on.
Yes, we've moved on.
We haven't moved on from Mark and Kim, or more so just Mark.
Clearly.
On Star 102.1.
Clearly, I still have some PTSD.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But maybe you should try to listen to them again. And you know, because you got your drive to work now. It's peaceful.
I listen to books. Though.
What I'm just saying, maybe give peace a chance.
Maybe they would have me on the show. And talk to me about.
I'm pretty sure if they listen to this, they will not have you on the show.
You don't think so?
No.
See, I'm the exact opposite. When I was doing mornings, and if someone had done this, that's the first I would have flipping called them 8 minutes later. Like, hey, come on, be on the show. Because there is nothing better when you're doing a morning show and somebody's pissed off. That's gold.
Oh,
bring them on the show.
Well, there you go. Okay, well, maybe so.
But
like I said, I thought it was just part of the shtick for the show. So I don't know. That's my ignorance.
And again,
of course, I forgot Andy and Allison in the morning on 107.7, which the fans lit me up over that because that was a good morning show. You know, that doesn't exist anymore either. But I freaking forgot Andy anyway. We're getting checked on stuff.
Here's the thing. I get when you're doing local radio and you're doing local morning stuff and everything.
Right.
And you want to be engrossed in the community that you're in.
Right.
Totally get it.
Right. Immersed.
Was it
immersed? No, you said engrossed. No, that was correct. I was just saying immersed as a synonym.
Yeah. But like, and listen, I know. Oh God. Here we go. Our last episode. I know you UT fans out there, right? I know you guys are Vol fans.
Man, you are.
I get it. I get it. I understand.
Listen, this is a big part of our listening base. You about to alienate everybody. Just you got to give me you got to give me a heads up if this is where we're going.
But like, I listened to like Andy and Allison and stuff, and like, they were just so everything's UT.
That's because it's 107.7.
I know.
Yes,
I know. But it's just like, guys, come on. I mean, just
that's what we do. But that's it. That's the station. I mean, they played all the games. No, there aren't. Teams. No, that's bullshit. You gonna make me cuss? I've been doing real good. I've been doing really well. Really good. I've been doing real good. I've been doing really well. Holding some of that back, and you about to get me going.
I don't know. So it was just
Rocky Top. You'll always be home, sweet home to me. Kiss my ass, Dave. Rocky Top 10. See, you got me. See, I did it.
I don't have anything against UT.
I know, but
UT football. I don't have anything against it.
I know. We've talked. I know, but it's right. But it's also, again, it is so big. You know,
it is.
People don't even half-heartedly care about the Titans that much around here because
which is part of the reason that I get so pissed off about it.
I totally get it. Tennessee is very regionalized. I mean, you have
that's true.
You have East Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, and West Tennessee, and it is very regionalized. I mean, they're all three very different. You know, different experiences, different food, different atmosphere, and in this area, it is the Vols. Nothing else matters. And I mean, I cheer for the Titans, but now you kind of got me on that 49er kick, so it's kind of, here we go. Anyway, but speaking of the regions of Tennessee, got the segue on it. Yeah. What about West Tennessee? I mean, you know, you got Memphis, you got Jackson, you know, some crazy stuff coming out of Memphis again. Some crazy sports stuff since we kind of got on the Vols.
We did, and yeah, this is
little John Morant. John Morant, what are you doing?
Here's a dude.
What are you doing?
$50 million, right? That's his contract. Like $50 million or whatever.
Why?
Man? And like he just for his, I think one of his biggest issues is his mother. I really do. I think that she's a problem. I really do. And so here,
this was a good segue because that was not what I thought. It's your mama.
It's your mama. So here's a list of things that this guy has been accused of. There's alleged whatever. Whatever.
I mean, some of this is documented.
He got into.
Because why are you on your Instagram feed doing stupid?
He got into a beef.
Why?
He got into a beef with an employee at the finish line in a mall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then there was an alleged assault for a backyard basketball game.
Yep. With a minor. The kid's like 17.
And the kid, like, said he got punched in the head.
Yeah.
Over a backyard basketball game.
That's correct.
A volleyball game.
Yeah.
Where his mom was there watching her daughter, his sister, and a student said something from whatever. She calls Ja and his posse. Japasi. And she says, Japasi? Somebody said something about your sister. So he shows up. The security guard, rent-a-cop, couldn't stop.
I was like, who doesn't stand a chance? I mean, when you've got all that going on.
And not Ja, but I think they all went up into the stands and found the person in the upper deck. And somebody like grabbed their phone and slammed it on the ground to destroy it. Okay, this is a kid. And mom called.
And it's
Ja, bring your posse.
And it's a high school volleyball game, right? Or whatever grade. I don't know what grade, but I heard it.
Devontae Pack, his buddy, got kicked out of an Indiana Pacers game for getting on the floor and arguing with, and he got banned from that arena forever, which is exactly what was
supposed to happen.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
They lost when they lost to Denver. They had this terrible loss to Denver. He was spotted
at the club.
At the club, and getting hammered,
bottle full of bub,
mini bottles, and then it was like kind of like no one came out and said he has a problem with alcohol or he has a problem with whatever. They just said he's going to go to a facility. He was at the facility for like 8 minutes.
Yeah,
right. Like so that just didn't happen.
Oh, they completely rehabbed me. No, they didn't.
He brought a gun to an arena.
Yeah.
And then he went on Instagram.
Well, not just was he drinking. You left out the Den part where he was flashing the gun on Instagram Live in the club.
Yeah.
So he has a concealed weapon, which I'm not saying there aren't other people. I'm sure other people in the club have a concealed weapon. But, I mean, why are you flashing that on Instagram Live?
What are you trying to accomplish? I guess that's I
guess just trying to show how tough you are.
The Dave and Doc Show has an Instagram account.
That's right.
And
we don't do that.
We don't,
No 8 bourbons.
The only guns that I'm,
That's right. We just flex it up. That's it. Boom. Really hit the gym. It's okay. The shirt's a little loose too, so it doesn't really.
It is right.
Doesn't really accent.
I didn't really.
Yeah, it's okay.
There you go.
I like it. That's it.
Look at this.
Look at it. Solid. Look at the flex.
I can
this way, that way, both
pounds.
ways all at once. That's it.
I can't do the boob thing though. I've never been able to do
that.
You can do it. I can't do it. I don't.
Sorry, I'll stop.
But like,
ADD.
Like, what are you?
The guy's an idiot. Okay, let's just get to it.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
I mean, the guy's an idiot. I just. And I lived in Memphis. I mean, obviously there's a lot of, great history within the city of Memphis. There's it's a pretty cool place.
Sure.
There's also a lot of crap in Memphis, a lot of bad stuff. Memphis is always in the top 3 most dangerous cities in America. A lot of bad stuff. Ja, why are you messing with all this? You have more talent to play the game of basketball in your pinky toe when the nail's ripped off and it's bruised than I have in my whole body. Why are we going around, showing weapons and crap? I mean, what is the matter with you?
Stop.
Stop. Get away from Devontae Pack. Get away from these stupid people that are screwing your life up because and the NBA is not going to give you a ton more chances. I mean, they already gave you a chance. You said you were good, and it wasn't 2 months later, and you did the same bull crap again. You have a problem.
So I mean,
and it's the people that you're hanging around with
100%.
that are the problem. I mean, you got a problem too because you can make choices for yourself, but you're hanging around the wrong people.
I guess I don't understand.
You get away from this garbage. Get away.
Maybe I'm just too old.
Go hang out. Go to BB King's, eat some delicious barbecue right there. I love BB. It's delicious.
Go to the flea market.
Or go to the flea market. I mean.
I would go to the flea market.
Of course, he could buy the flea market.
He could.
I mean, good grief.
He could now.
Anyway,
he's going to be out of money soon. But
I mean, that's the other thing.
But what is the so you're a young person.
He doesn't have the right people surrounding him, and his brain. I mean, what's he? How old is he? 24.
He's young.
Is he 24? I don't remember. Anyway,
but what are you?
But I mean, your brain has not fully matured until age 25. Anyway, so he's still going through a maturation process.
Some of us longer.
Well, some of us never got there. Right, exactly. But you know what I'm saying. So I mean, this is ridiculous.
So what I don't understand.
You're not in a safe place.
Yeah.
You're not hanging out with the right people, and something really bad is going to happen if you don't get your butt away from this.
I guess I don't understand. Is it a racial thing? Is it a culture thing? I guess I don't understand when you feel the need to show people a weapon. Like I don't and again, maybe it's because I was raised in a small town and now I live in Knoxville, which is not necessarily
it's a market share 58. Just so you are
right. And like I don't have I guess what I mean is like, is it a racial thing? Is it a cultural thing? Is it just because
that's a good question, and I don't necessarily
know. Like, I mean, what would again, I've never went on Instagram Live. I've never had anything that was so important that I felt like the rest of the world needed to
stream it. Yeah.
Instagram Live. Here's my penis.
That's it.
Today, live at the flea market.
Whap.
Live at the flea market. Here's my piece. But it's like, so I can't imagine like sitting around one day going, oh, I really like this song. I'm a big Def Leppard fan, right? So I mean, I might listen to some Photograph or Stage Fright's good song, by the way, from the Pyromania album.
There you go.
But that's like song number 3 on the Pyromania album. But I mean, like, I can't imagine like listening to a song. And then while I'm listening to a song, decide that I want to share that with the world. And then while I'm sharing that with the world, listening to the song,
here's my handgun.
Here's my gun. Like what is? I mean, are you implicitly saying
you wonder
a thug? Are you implicitly saying I'm tough because I have a gun?
I don't really know because I can't. That's what I can't really. I don't know.
I can't wrap my mind around it because I just don't understand what you're trying to. What is the? What's the? Because there's a payoff for everything. I watch too much Dr. Phil. There's a payoff for everything, right? Everything we do, there's a payoff for, right? So, like, what is his payoff? Like, what is he? When he's done with that Instagram Live and he walks away and he puts his phone down and everything, and he's like, going to the kitchen. And he's like getting some water, and he's like, "Yeah, now I showed him." You showed who what? Like what? Yeah. Because it's not illegal to own a gun. First of all,
right?
Like, I mean, it would be different if like he was like shooting up heroin. Then I'm like, okay, so he's got enough money to buy heroin.
Illicit drugs. This is bad,
right? But I mean, like, at least you're doing something that like maybe not everybody. But I mean, it's like anybody can really go get a gun. It's not even that restrictive. So I don't know.
You also wonder how much pressure he's under with people, because obviously when I think when you have that much talent,
yeah,
and there is no doubt. I mean, like I said, his toenail ripped off, pinky toe bruised, and he's got more basketball talent than I have in my whole body. And I played basketball, So I mean, incredible athlete has obviously always had that. I mean, he's always grown up with, people, because people want to be on that coattail.
Yeah.
And you just, I don't know. I mean, this has something kind of snapped in his brain because of all the pressure. Is it more just environmental? I mean, again, if you're surrounding yourself with people that in their minds, that makes you, tough, hard, whatever you want to say, to be flashing your guns and doing all that stuff, then that's kind of where your mind's at, because that's what you surrounded yourself with. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've never been, obviously, and like I said, I have no talent. I don't have that talent to be a professional athlete in any sense. So you don't know, you don't know what that's like for him to walk in that environment.
Yeah.
But what I will say is there are a lot of people who also walk in that environment across all demographics that don't behave that way either.
Right.
And I think that's important to realize too. So it is. I do think it's who he's affiliated himself with.
Do you think? I mean, with a lot of athletes, I see this is when they're in their early 20s, particularly NBA athletes, because they didn't even really do a stint in college, right? I mean, they spent a year or
right, like one year and you're out. Yeah.
Like everybody that goes to UK, if you're on the starting five at UK,
well, in Duke to a certain extent, this year though they're having a lot of people come back, which is interesting. Anyway, but yeah, right, one and done. The one and done became a huge thing, and that was a very marketable thing to folks,
right?
Because like, okay, I can go to college for a year. I can play for a great coach, great conference, whether it's ACC, SEC, or whatever, and then I can make that jump to the pros, and I can start making money because it's a job. I mean, you want to make your money.
What I see with athletes in general, though, is they haven't been told no.
I mean, that's fair too. Yeah, I mean,
and the fact that his
boundaries
mom is
and the limits.
calling him and like saying, "Hey, son, come deal with this kid at a volleyball game."
Right.
Now, if Mama wants to stand up and yell at that kid and say, "Don't say that,"
right? Why are you doing that?
Then that's okay. I got no issue with that. But like to call your son, who is a professional basketball player,
and place him in a anger whatever situation,
him and his posse.
Mm-hmm. That's bad. And he's got to have some judgment to say, that's not a good look. I don't need to be rolling up in here.
Yeah.
And one of my crew is bashing this high school kid's phone into the ground.
Listen, folks, I mean, the senior prank this year was to put a B over the H
at Halls High School.
And by the way,
that spells balls, just in case you can't.
Just in case you didn't know.
If you're a visual learner, it's balls instead of halls.
And
I had a bunch of people show me that yesterday.
And just so you know, by the way, folks.
And it was a blue ball. It was a blue B to make blue balls. That made it even funnier. It was a blue background. Did you notice that?
I did. And someone who likes the pranks and everything, I don't know who was involved with that, but kudos. Kudos to you.
And that's pretty light. You know what I mean? I mean, relatively speaking. I mean, obviously that's that's a little.
I mean, you've got,
but yeah, balls.
But again, these are the kinds of students that are going to this school, and then Morant shows up and like smashes somebody's phone. Like,
correct.
Who the hell do you think you are? Like. I can't believe he hasn't been arrested. I can't believe he's not in jail.
Truth. That's true. That's true.
I just feel like
it does make you wonder.
I feel like he's at a.
It's probably coming though. If he, I mean, again, and again, I don't know him. I've never been in his shoes. I will never live that life because I am not a superstar athlete. I can't imagine the pressure. Really and truly. And again, I know it's basketball and all that, but you think about that, how many people are pulling at him. It's got to be exhausting. It's got to be exhausting. I mean, it's think of Michael Jordan. I mean, Michael Jordan couldn't go anywhere.
No.
Because he was the most recognized athlete in the world.
Still
is. And it's like, I mean, I can't even imagine that. You know what I mean? Like, I can go down here to the quick sack or whatever, and nobody knows.
But
like, who is that?
But you know what? You know what Jordan didn't do?
Well,
is flash a gun around. I mean,
that's true. I mean, that's true.
It's like what that's. I mean, that's why I ask: is it a racial thing or something? Like, is that just a?
I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer.
I don't know what that is. I don't understand that. Like,
I don't know.
I mean, you got to. I mean, the greatest quarterback that ever played the game, Mr. Joseph Montana,
Tom Brady.
Oh no, my friend. Again, there was one of those guys were undefeated in Super Bowls.
This is true.
But I mean, just think about
Billy Special,
like
and Eli Manning.
Don't play Eli Manning in the playoffs because he will win the Super Bowl.
That's exactly right.
But I mean, you think about any of those guys like Peyton and Eli and Tom Brady and Joe, Steve, and any of those guys,
or Patrick Mahomes.
I mean,
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Hurts just got his master's degree.
Yeah.
I mean, how awesome is that?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
But I mean,
you know what I'm saying? So I mean, again, that's where you're like, I don't know that you can. I don't know, because I really think you can go all the way back, and this was actually a comedy. But you ever seen the movie Trading Places?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the Dukes were, I mean, they were your stereotypical rich racist white guys,
Right.
But I mean, it's kind of true. It's like, hey, the environment can shape you quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I mean, you've got high level athletes across multiple sports that aren't doing that kind of stuff, and they're sometimes they're African American, sometimes they're they're white, sometimes they're Asian, and then you have some others that aren't. And it's not always necessarily just gun stuff. I mean, sometimes it's women, sometimes it's gambling. I mean, Jordan had a little bit of a gambling problem, probably
more than a little bit.
Things of that sort. So it's. I don't know. And again, I think I think it's some of that is association type stuff.
And
I'm not making an excuse for it because you have to. You
still got to conduct yourself like a
professional.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can't do that. It doesn't matter if you work at the Quick Sack, if you're an IT manager, if you're a physician, if you're a nurse, if you're a lawyer. I mean, you can't. Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I can't imagine. So, I mean, again, you're right. I mean, the money that they make and everything, but we also, I mean.
And limits, because he's not told no much.
Right.
Because, I mean, and particularly in his circle, because who's holding up the financial burden of everything? Him.
Yeah.
So they ain't about to tell him no, because it's like, really?
It's just funny to me because it's like you're no different than a celebrity in that you are paid for your entertainment value.
I mean, that.
Yeah. I mean, you really are. I mean, because if the NBA went away, nobody gives a shit if you can play basketball, right?
That's true.
I mean, nobody gives a shit if the NBA dies. If the NFL dies, nobody gives a shit if you can play football.
Right. That's true.
So I mean, like
true.
you are good at something that people continue to watch and like, and the NBA is kind of on a bubble there, because their ratings just really aren't great at all, and
huge in China,
right.
It makes you,
So are we.
Oh, well, right? Yes.
No idea.
Yes. I don't know.
Thank you.
Maybe it's Yao Ming. Maybe he likes our podcast. I don't know.
I think Yao would like it. I like Yao.
I do too.
Guy's like 9'6" or something.
Yeah.
Whatever he is.
Yeah, and he's not flashing handguns on
Yeah.
social media. Speaking of social media, as a segue.
Oh, look at you!
I'm blowing it up today.
I love
brother.
this.
I mean, I got you.
I've got you.
dog.
I've turned you into a 49ers
Yes.
fan, and I've turned you into a professional broadcaster.
Yes. Well, that's
It
probably.
doesn't take a whole lot to be a professional
That's
broadcaster.
probably pushing it because, I don't know.
I mean, that jackass on Mark and Kim's a professional broadcaster.
We brought it back. So TikTok, Instagram, all these things. So little bit of controversy there with the TikTok, not with TikTok itself,
Right.
but with the
It's the first time that I've ever heard of someone being arrested.
Yes. So and that's the thing. Yes. So this is a first for the social media. And particularly for TikTok.
So a couple things here. First, I saw this story.
And it wasn't the Cavender twins, just in case anybody was nervous and worried. Just saying.
Hello,
Just saying.
ladies.
Just saying. Right.
Hello, ladies.
Right.
Speaking of attractive ladies and TikTok, I first saw this story watching Brett Cooper. And if you don't know who Brett Cooper is, she's crazy young, she's crazy attractive, and she works for the Daily Wire. And she looks like the female version of Ben Shapiro. She really does. And she's talked about this before. She's like, if Ben Shapiro was a woman,
he would be me.
He would be me.
Or I would be him.
Or I would be him. Sometimes I dream that Ben is me. But anyway, and even if you don't, she's fun to watch because she does like a show every day or something. But anyway, this is where I saw that at. And so before since you're a doctor, is the main reason that I wanted to bring this story up.
Vistaprint, which is on is it the Celtics jerseys? Vistaprint.
Vistaprint. Yeah.
They're actually advertising Vistaprint, which is the most awesome thing ever. I was like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding!
That's where you got the
Vistaprint. I got my diploma.
I don't even know how to say this. So it's leukemia, but it's acute
lymphoblastic leukemia.
Woo, look at you! Yeah. Look at that.
Who has that?
Okay,
is it a kid or is it an adult?
But before that, before we get there, So explain to me, because I know leukemia.
Basically, your bone marrow goes crazy and starts making all the bad cells, or making an abundance of cells, and whether it's lymphocytes or myelocytes, it's the white blood cells, and basically because they're overcrowding everything, they start killing all the normal good stuff that's in there, and it's bad news. ALL is the most common leukemia type in kiddos.
It is cancer, right?
It's a cancer.
It's a
cancer. And so if you're a kid, you want to have ALL. You do not want to have AML. If you're an adult, you'd rather have the AML and not the ALL. If you're an adult and you have ALL, the prognosis is not typically good.
I'm down with OPP.
Yeah, you know me. And for the ladies,
and so
OPP means something different. The first letter is the same, but the last is something different. It's the loveliest. So I call it the leanest. It's another 5-letter word that rhymes with cleanest or meanest.
There you go.
I won't get into that. I'll do it sort of properly. I say the last P stands for property. Now, ladies, here comes a kiss. Blow a kiss back to me. Now you ain't getting in on this.
No, I'm not.
Tretch. Anyway, sorry.
So ALL is bad.
It's all bad. I mean, it's all bad. None of this is good.
None of this is good. So pancreatic cancer is real bad, which is usually a death sentence.
Yeah,
right? And so if you have stage 2, it kind of. What does that mean?
Stage 2 pancreatic cancer.
Yes.
So cancer staging. It's kind of the same, but
is it subjective though?
So what it means is when you're stage 2, typically it's not just confined to
the area that it started.
A specific so if it's spread distantly, that's actually stage 4, and that means it's not curable. That's distant metastasis, and that's real bad. 2 usually means there's a little bit of regional involvement, plus or minus lymph node. Usually stage 3 is more lymph nodes in the area are involved.
So it's like the SEC. It just means more.
It just means more, and it's the higher the worse the stage. If it's in the lymph nodes, that's always really hard because that means
then it's everywhere.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, you can put it in remission, but you always worry because it's in that lymphatic system.
Right.
You worry about because your lymphatics drain all the way from head to toe, and you have your thoracic duct that pulls all the fluid back. So it can it's always you're always worried about, is it going to come back?
Yeah.
So but typically stage 2 there's a little bit of extra involvement, not just that focal area in the organ, if that makes sense.
The pancreatic cancer is also basically a death sentence, right?
It's really bad. Yeah. And the main reason for that is because usually by the time you discover it, and that's whether we start having pain or whether we start turning yellow or whatever starts happening, it's already been there for a while.
Right.
And it's just because of where it's typically located, and there's not a lot of nerve endings and things in that area immediately until it's gotten it's grown so much that it's kind of gotten out of hand. So pancreatic, you just don't want to have that.
So if someone had ALL,
yes,
and stage 2 pancreatic cancer,
that's bad,
and a tumor the size of a football wrapped around their spine,
they're in bad shape.
They're in bad shape.
Yes.
Well, folks, this person lied about all of that.
On TikTok?
A 19-year-old TikToker. Her name was Maddie Russo.
Oh, my.
She was arrested on first-degree theft charge after she faked saying she had stage 2 pancreatic cancer, ALL, and she had a GoFundMe and raised around $40,000 because of this.
Oh, my.
There was a video of her on TikTok where she had the, what is it they do? They put the port.
The port, yeah.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. They put a port in.
It made me want to pass out when I looked at it. But so I think how she got caught was she was showing people her port, right? And it was clearly something she had done herself because a nurse basically looked at it and said, the nurse needs to be fired, whoever did that dressing, because that just doesn't look right. Right, like the tape was all over the place, and like so.
She called it stage 2 pancreatic cancer, and if you got a tumor wrapped around your spine, it's not stage 2.
No, that I feel like that's like whatever the last.
That would be stage 4.
Yeah,
that's a distant metastasis.
Where you're just so
she gave it. So anybody that was paying attention to what she said, the stages were gave it away too.
Yeah, she said stage 2 pancreatic cancer. She had ALL, and then a tumor the size of a football that was wrapped around her spine.
Yeah, no.
But she's been arrested on first-degree theft on TikTok because of her TikTok. And actually, it's probably not because of her TikTok. It's just because of, I mean, there's no law against, impersonating a cancer patient.
Well, no, right. But it's
taking the money.
But you defrauded people for money.
Yeah.
Or for money.
Yeah. So she went to, got arrested. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Could you imagine? Like, I just can't imagine. Like, I wouldn't even joke about stuff like that because, like,
it just makes you. I mean, obviously,
you and I both know people who've had cancer and have lost their lives. I mean, you know more because
my mom died of metastatic breast cancer.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a no. Oh man, that's bad.
Yeah.
And so it's obviously something psychologically wrong with that person. I mean, you just, and I'm not making an excuse, but that's not normal behavior, obviously. And that's, I mean, that's just awful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awful. I mean, the Manti Te'o's, ghost girlfriend. I mean, I thought that was really awful, but saying you have cancer and all these things, but like I said, the stage 2, it's not stage 2 if you got a tumor in your spine. It's obviously stage 4. Stage 2, it's in that surrounding tissue, not in the lymph node sort of thing, but not small. Like that's terrible. So she just got caught because she didn't know what she was actually saying, and then you post the dressing, which of course, I mean, obviously the port. I mean, I would assume the dressing was there to like hide the fact that it wasn't really a port.
Yeah,
because it's under the skin,
right?
So there has to be. So she obviously had to try to doctor it up to make it look like that way you couldn't see it.
I mean, what kind of attention do you need? And you're going to get,
like psychologically just not right. The elevator's not going all the way to the top.
I should start a GoFundMe just because I want to go to the Super Bowl. I just want somebody to pay for my Super Bowl tickets.
I mean, you could put that on there. Somebody'd probably give you a donation.
They probably would. I just need everybody to give me like $2.
Everybody keep putting it in locations that it's hard to get to, though. That's the thing. I'm like, Can we not have something? I don't know. I mean, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I mean that,
Yeah.
But it's hard to anyway. Yeah. I bet you somebody give you a little bit of money. Of course, those tickets are crazy expensive if you don't win the outright lottery for them.
Yeah, if you don't get the face value is like $500, I think, and then if you're buying tickets after that,
thousands.
Oh yeah,
thousands.
Two tickets, flight, and a hotel is about $10,000.
Yep,
that's about where it's at.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, so and again, I mean, could I have went? Yes, but it's just hard to spend that kind of money when there's other things that I want to spend money on.
I mean, right.
Like the flea market. the Knoxville
Maybe
Expo
there'll
Center.
Be some old Super Bowl tickets there. And you could, oh, I know.
I got 5 of them.
You've got the ones. You got the ones that you want. You got the ones that matter.
16, 19, 23, 24, and 29.
36, 24, 36. Only if she's 5'3".
Hey,
that's Sir Mix-a-Lot. Anyway,
by the way, speaking of
no, you can't get it.
I can't. Do you know that the song "Whole Lotta Rosie" from ACDC?
Yes.
We finally have a picture of the girl. No joke.
No, we don't.
They've uncovered a picture of the girl that the song was written about. I don't have it to show you or whatever, but I did read an article about it. I forget what her actual name was, but yeah, it was a picture of her and Bon Scott together, and yeah, that's where the song came from. And the measurements in the song, accurate.
Oh,
accurate.
Oh.
It was a whole lot of Rosie. And I don't think her name was Rosie, but a whole lot of Rosie.
Of course, they.
Just so you know, folks.
Oh my! So there you go. You can look that up online.
Yeah, you can look that up online.
So it wasn't Rosie Palm and her 5 sisters.
Hey, oh, it's my date.
Oh shit!
Just kidding. Just kidding.
That's it. Oh, folks.
Hey,
yeah, we can't. I can't segue from that.
So, Jim Brown passed away.
Yes,
yesterday. I think.
Speaking of strong hands,
yes.
Jim Brown.
Speaking of strong hands,
Jim Brown. I know, man. I mean, 9 seasons. For the Browns, they got a league championship. He only 1 year he didn't lead the league in rushing.
Yeah.
Quit because Art Modell basically gave him an ultimatum because he was getting into movies and said you either get back here and play, or you get out of it. And he said, well, okay, I'll go do movies. Forget you.
Yeah.
Left at the top of his game, and that's why he's so memorable.
Yeah.
And what a beast. Wow. And I was watching some film, and they were clip stuff honoring him. They were talking like defensive players were talking about when they would hit him.
Yeah.
And one guy was telling the story about how he hits Jim Brown from the side with a metal face mask, and it bent his metal face mask back into his face.
Yeah.
He said, I hit him that hard, and guess who didn't go down? And that would be Jim Brown. He said, it bent my face mask.
I've always been of the opinion, and this is just me, that Barry Sanders is the greatest running back that's ever played.
I mean, yeah, I would agree. I just that. That's hard to.
But Barry Sanders said that Jim Brown was the greatest, and a good friend of mine, Gerald Stacy, who I don't know if listens to the podcast. Gerald and I used to do radio together.
Hey, Gerald,
and
hope you're out there.
He living in LaGrange, North Carolina.
Hello, friends.
And every time I say LaGrange, I say little ZZ Top there. There you go. Gerald and Sandy Stacy out there in LaGrange, North Carolina. And Gerald and I used to do radio, some football together on radio, and before we moved to the
LaGrange
said location.
We can't do it every time.
I know, right? But Gerald always said that to him, Jim Brown was the greatest running back, and you can't. I mean, that's a hard argument because Jim Brown was, like you said, when he left, he was the best in the game at the time when he left, and much like Barry Sanders, kind of left at the top of his game. Barry did the same thing, and Jim Brown was amazing. But I think he was age 87.
Mm-hmm, he was 87. Yeah. I think and here's the thing, he didn't have a lot of that leftover football stuff, interestingly. Right. And of course, when you're a tank.
Yeah.
The thing about Jim Brown, the speed that he had and the physicality. Barry was not a big guy. Jim Brown is a big man.
Yeah, he is.
And so, I think that might be where Barry and kudos to Barry. And of course, I always thought Barry Sanders was awesome and just super humble, great guy.
100%.
And the specimen that Jim Brown was.
Yeah.
Wow. And so it's hard not to give to him, but I think overall talent, I think it's hard not to give it to Barry. I really do. But I would put Jim Brown number 2.
Oh, sure.
I definitely would. And probably Walter Payton number 3. I think I'd put Sweetness as number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that after that, it's probably Emmett, and that's probably part of that's longevity, and obviously, you have to put him in the top 5 because he does have the rushing record.
He has the record, yeah.
And then after that, gosh, I think if Bo Jackson doesn't get hurt, I think Bo Jackson is in that conversation.
If Bo Jackson doesn't get hurt, then it's kind of like the Jerry Rice conversation. It's like it's him and everybody else.
Yeah, I think that's legit. Eric Dickerson, you could throw him in there too. And of course the running back doesn't have the emphasis that it used to have now. Right. So it's a different.
Frank Gore for the Niners.
Frank Gore for the Niners had an excellent career.
Yeah,
and a super nice guy also.
Yeah.
But I think. I think if Bo doesn't get hurt, Bo is the best at everything, except for hockey.
Bo doesn't know
play hockey.
Bo doesn't know hockey.
Have you ever seen that comedy skit with Cedric the Entertainer where he's talking about hockey?
No.
He's talking about brothers be living all wrong at the golf course. He said, we're playing all the sports. He said, hockey, maybe not hockey. He said, you know what they let you do in hockey? They let you fight. He said, there'd be a bruh skating around out there without a stick going, I wish a motherfucker would say something to me. He'd be skating around without a stick. Yeah, I was like, well, there you go. Right. And he slips in the Kings of Comedy skit. He actually slips while he's trying to act like he's skating. He's like, man, I done tore up my whole left side because he hits pretty hard. But he said, there'd be a bruh skating around without a stick. I said, well, there you go. So, Bo didn't play hockey, but Bo, football. Oh my,
yeah.
Yeah, when he ran over Brian Bosworth, not only was I extremely happy, but I was just like, wow.
That was so funny.
Wow. So there you go.
That was so funny.
It was pretty awesome.
We waited an entire game for it, too, and he scored a touchdown when he did.
Bam!
And just ran over it.
Ran over. Incredible. Anyway.
I'm excited for a couple things.
Yes.
One is the flea market today.
Yes, we keep trying to get to the flea market.
But it's just, I like the flea market. But the other is about a month away.
Oh.
And it is the 5th chapter.
Oh.
Of it's like, where the hell's the camera, Jim?
Right. Where is it? I can't see it.
Damn it, Jimmy, where's the camera? Is Indiana Jones.
I've seen that.
And the Dial of Destiny. It's a 2.5 hour long movie. It comes out on June 30th.
Did you like the Crystal Skull?
Okay. So sorry.
No, you go back. You were talking. And I can't. No, let's stay on 5. Let's stay on 5, and then we'll back it up because I got you. So off track.
I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan.
Yes.
And one of the coolest things is it's a movie that I watched as a kid.
Yes.
And loved it.
Oh yeah.
And I've been able to
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Last Crusade, which I think is actually the best of all the movies.
Which interestingly not as critically well received for some reason.
Yeah, and I don't understand. I mean, Sean Connery was in the movie.
I think that was part of the problem was you almost had too huge. It was almost too much star power for that sort of setup. Maybe. Because he kind of had to be a little bit in the background to Indiana Jones. It's like you can't really do that. I mean, Sean Connery, he kind of did that with The Rock. Yeah. With Nicolas Cage, and you're like, yeah, but it's really hard to put Sean Connery as like the anyway, and I think that was part of it. Anyway, sorry, but yeah, number 5.
Last Crusade was my favorite. But it's cool that like I've been able to watch these movies and like I've been able to share them with my boys too, and like
it's endured. It's like Star Wars. Like, I mean, these things have endured the ages.
And so like Steven and Landon are excited. We're going to go opening night. I'm actually taking the day off on Friday.
Oh, look at you!
So we can go Thursday night.
Did you book your usual seats?
I can't buy them yet. I've already tried.
Oh, I didn't know.
They're not available yet.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
sorry, my ignorance. Sorry.
Yes, they are not available yet, but
you're looking for your seats.
Oh, yeah. And the minute I can buy the tickets, they will be purchased. And I'm really excited, but I'm actually a little nervous about it, too. And the reason I'm nervous about it is because of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yes.
Because I didn't hate that movie.
Shia LaBeouf.
I didn't hate that movie.
That movie sucked, Dave. I'm just going to tell you that.
Everybody says that movie sucked.
Relative, I'll back it up a little bit. I'll clarify. Okay. Relative to the other 3.
Sure,
it was not. No, I was disappointed because I'm a big Indiana Jones. I don't to your degree, but I do like me some Indiana Jones, and I did not like that movie. I was like, I do not like this. Number one, I don't like Shia LaBeouf, so
that's the thing. So I think that they brought Shia LaBeouf in, hoping that it would help with the movie and help the ratings and whatever with the movie.
That was a mistake.
But I think it was a mistake. I think that they could have almost brought anybody else in or just not had any that had that character.
Right.
Like it didn't matter, so I think that.
How about like Ryan Reynolds or somebody else that's like funnier?
Or Ricky Schroeder.
That's terrible. No, God almighty.
Sorry, Rick Schroeder. He does not. He says, "Do not call me Ricky."
I mean, he'll hit that silver spoon upside your head. Whap, 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 whap. That's it. I'm just saying.
Don't call me. Stop calling me Ricky.
I'm not Ricky. Anyway,
I wonder if he flashes a gun on Instagram Live. No. I bet he doesn't.
No. No.
It's because he has a silver spoon up his ass.
That's it. Yeah, he didn't have to do that. So anyway, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Not a great movie, but I still enjoyed it because Harrison Ford was in it. He's Indiana Jones.
It's hard not to, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. First three, I definitely liked. I did not like that one, so I'm hopeful maybe this will rebound.
What I didn't like about it was like the whole aliens thing and whatever. But it was. Again, when you think about Indiana Jones and like the time period that he's there, I mean, that was right around the time of the, of Roswell,
right?
And what happened there in New Mexico,
right? I get what they were. So trying. I get what they were. It
didn't come across, but
that just it was just stupid. I'm sorry.
Every time I say Roswell, I just wait for Alex Jones to just break in our broadcast.
He don't want to get sued again.
Let me tell you, if there was ever an interview that I would I would do it at any time of the day, 3 a.m. I don't care. If I can talk to Alex Jones ever, it's happening. Because that guy, oh my gosh, that would be perfect interview. He's like, so I interviewed Wink Martindale once. I did, and great interview because you just ask him a question and he just he was like, well, Dave, what I did was I started broadcasting when I was 3 years old and, blah, 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 pressure luck or tic-tac-toe,
yeah.
Blah, bitty, blah, bitty, blah. But I mean, Alex Jones is that kind of,
Right. You don't have, you
Infowars.com.
You kind of ask an open-ended question.
Yeah.
And they just take it home and you're like, man, this is easy because I can ask you anything open-ended.
Yeah.
And we've got a full show.
What do you think about the weather, Alex Jones? Well, it's Infowars.com, and the weather is controlled by the government. And blah,
that's
blah.
it. That's it. And that's how it would be.
And back to Indiana Jones, like there's somebody who is not a great interview, is Harrison Ford. He's an introvert. I mean, he really is.
No, he is. You're right.
Like he even says, he's like, I don't like doing interviews because I'm an introvert. Like he just doesn't.
I can't say I blame him. Yeah.
I always tell people I'm the most introverted extrovert you'll ever meet.
Phases.
Speaking of me, because I like talking about me.
I want to talk about me.
Actually, I don't like talking about me.
I want to talk about number one. Oh, my. Who sings that? Toby Keith.
Yeah.
We weren't going to get there, so I...
Didn't Toby Keith just start writing songs about disasters and made a ton of money?
Who's your baby?
Wasn't that him?
Who's your buddy? Now who's your friend? Well, he kind of flipped his shtick to go more along with obviously...
Like he wrote a song about 9/11 and then like Hurricane Katrina or something. Like he started writing songs about
moved
disasters.
on, and how as Americans we try to help and overcome... And, put a boot in your ass. It's the American way, And
he got real rich.
Uncle Sam put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist, and the eagle will fly, and there's going to be hell to pay.
Good job, Toby. Way to make $1 billion on a tragedy. I just think there's some of that shit you just stay away from. And I just...
He definitely made a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely made a lot of money.
Toby Keith.
So speaking of your health...
What his real name is.
What his really name?
Really namely. What is really namely?
My name is Ricky Bobby.
Because Toby Keith is not his name.
We should look that up here. I'll just look it up real quick.
Here we go, folks.
It's going to be Bart Stillwell. Toby Keith.
Peppy Bennett.
Toby Keith. Real name.
It's Jim Brown. That's his name.
Oh, my goodness. He was born Toby Keith Covell in Clinton, Oklahoma. Toby Keith Covell or Covel, Covel, Covell. Toby Keith Covell. So those are his it's his middle name, first name. How about that?
Well, that does make sense. But I mean,
you know what Jimmy Buffett's real name is? This is just popped up here randomly.
Dave Miller. That's his name.
James William Buffett. How about that? Alan Eugene Jackson. Kenneth Arnold Chesney.
You know what Joe Montana's real name is?
George Harvey Strait. Joseph Monongahela, Pennsylvania, Montana.
His real name is King.
Oh.
Joe Montana.
That wasn't where I thought you were going with that.
No.
Merle Haggard is Merle Ronald Haggard.
Yeah. Oh, that's... You don't mess with that one.
No, you can't change... Yeah, that's good. That makes it better.
So
better.
So health stuff.
Yeah. Toby Keith, what's up?
The Statue of Liberty's shaking her fist at me. I'm not sleeping. So I know.
Well, we call that insomnia.
So you're my doctor, and I'm like,
Yes.
I'll just bring this up on the podcast. This will be great.
Is this like a telehealth visit?
It is.
You'll be getting your bill. I'm just kidding.
So, no, listen.
I'm
Listen.
kidding.
It's funny because
I'm kidding.
like every episode of Dr. Phil I watch, he talks about Doctor on Demand and how he and his son like invented it, and it's like, dude, 20 minutes of your show is not helping people. It's pushing the shit that you came up with.
Pretty much. And buy these supplements and my book.
Hey, I know where you can get some subs.
There's a place on Emory Road in Powell.
Yeah, you go through a whole go through a whole thing when you go there. Like you talk to a hippie, and the hippie tells you like what's you do. I mean, shit. I mean, really. I mean, you talk to a hippie, and he tells you like what's cosmically wrong with you.
Yes.
And he does this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you go to
And here's some OxyContin.
And then you go and you stand on a thing that like balances you, and you like do some like physical therapy stuff, like you would do, if you broke your dick or something. But I mean, whatever. You do some physical therapy, and then you actually go see the chiropractor, who looks at you and says 2 words, and then they send you to the cash register
Gung, gung, gung.
for your prescription.
That's right.
Your prescription, which magically they just have there.
Yes. Did it help you sleep?
No, it did not.
So are you having trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or both?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, and I thought so. I kind of jacked my back up a couple weeks ago. You know that.
Jack the back.
You were upset that I did not let you know that, but
yes. I mean, you can. You can actually tell me these things.
I know. But it was a muscle thing, and and I did buy the TENS unit.
Yes.
I bought the red one because
Of course you did.
They had a red one.
Of course you did.
I haven't tried it yet. It just came yesterday.
That's in honor of Emmett Smith, isn't it?
No. It is not. Although I still remember him plugging that into that NFC Championship, and
Right.
And Ricky Jackson's job that day was to knock the shit out of Emmitt Smith, and guess what happened?
That's what he did.
I mean, Ricky Jackson, his bonus was like $1 million if they went to the Super Bowl. And so they said, your job is to knock the shit out of Emmitt Smith. And he said, gotcha.
And that's what he did.
And that's what he did.
How about that?
Go Niners.
That's some good old school trivia right there.
Then made it to Super Bowl 29, and Steve Young threw 6 touchdowns, and it's right.
Poor old Stan Humphries.
There, yeah.
Poor old Stan Humphries.
And
didn't quite get there, but you ain't sleeping. Let's get back to that.
So I'm not sleeping.
How long has that been going on?
About 3 weeks now.
Okay.
And I've tried to take some like sleep aids.
What have you taken?
It's a ZQL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is antihistamine.
Yeah. So
how about melatonin?
I haven't taken melatonin. We have it in the house. I know.
Tiger penis soup. That doesn't really work. That's aphrodisiac. Don't do that. You won't want to sleep for days. You're like,
no, I had a different problem there.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And I'm getting
Dave Man party of
and all the neighbors are suing me.
Right. Yeah. couple of dead cats out here. There.
We do have a pet rabbit in the backyard.
Damn.
We do have a pet rabbit.
That's good. All right, that's good.
Thumper. I call him Thumper.
Thumper. Of course you do. Not Bumper.
No.
Not Heater.
No.
Okay.
Just Thumper.
What'd
you do?
Let's keep going. That's right.
So I'm not sleeping at all.
And you tried some over-the-counter stuff. It's not the melatonin.
Yeah, and again, I mean, like in the last week or so, it's been because of the back. Mm-hmm. But again,
but you're having trouble even before that.
Before that, there was it was just
So when we has anything changed? Like, do you feel like there's more stress? Are you drinking a little more caffeine a little bit later in the evening? Are we eating later? Do you think it's we've got a little more energy just because we've been exercising some? We're losing some weight. We're a little more pumped up. Are you exercising later in the evening? Because that can certainly do it.
So the exercise generally happens about 3:00 in the afternoon.
Okay. So I mean that's
and the caffeine thing, like I don't eat anything generally past 7 or 7:30.
Okay, so that's good. That's good.
And I've tried to go to bed at different times.
Well, if you could pick what time you're going to go to bed, what time would you like to go to bed? And this is not, I know you get up for your job and do your things, but what time, if you could ideally go to bed, what time would that be?
Probably about 10:30.
Okay. What time would you want to get up?
Between 6:30, 7:30.
Okay. What time are we really going to bed right now when you actually try to lay down? And
4 a.m. No. So actually that's it. It's between 10 and 10:30.
Okay. So we're doing that. Mm-hmm. How long do we lay in the bed, like just completely wide awake?
Sometimes it's like, I'm like a little sleepy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, I'm sleepy. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'm like so wide awake, I'm like, why don't I just get up?
Right.
I don't. I force myself to stay in bed.
So you actually should get up.
Really?
Yep. So don't clock watch. If you have your phone, don't clock or phone watch. Don't get on your phone. Start looking at social media.
What about porn?
Porn will definitely get you stimulated. So we definitely don't want to do that. And then we'll be a whole lot of Rosie, because Pax is doing his craziness. So no, really and truly, when you're in the bed's for two things: sleep, and the stuff we do with our lovey, and that is it. The bed is not meant for eating. The bed is not meant for watching TV, social media, none of that. Reading a book. If you're going to read a book, do not get in your bed and read the book. And I know people think I'm crazy, but there is a brilliant sleep doctor. I'll give him a shout out, Dr. Martinelich at UT, one of the most brilliant minds in medicine that I personally know. Was very grateful and appreciative of him being one of my mentors in school. In my training, and that was one of the main things he would say is people get too stimulated when they try to get in the flipping bed. And he's from New Jersey, so he does not pull any punches. He will tell you the truth, and I love that about him.
Yeah.
And he's got the biggest heart of anybody you'd ever meet. But if you're an idiot, he'll be like, "Listen, that was dumb." So nothing stimulating.
Okay.
If you're in that bed for longer than about 15, 20 minutes, you need to get up. Go somewhere else in the house. It's almost like hitting the reset button on a circuit or a light switch or whatever else. Get up, go somewhere else, get you a book or something that's an easy read. I usually say if you have an actual hardback book, so we're not getting screen time, I would actually, or magazine, grab something, look at that in a little low-lit place, try to relax yourself, and then after about 10 or 15 minutes, try to go back to the bed and see if you can fall asleep.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, do it again. You're trying to trick your brain, train your brain. I'm getting in this bed. It is time to go to sleep.
So one of the things that I've always done, always, and this isn't new, is what I mean by this, is I will when I first lay down, that's when I'm like reading stuff on the internet, like stories and like ESPN. And I'll like look at some videos and stuff like that, but like it's never really been a problem before. Like it's like my routine hasn't changed.
I get you.
So
I try not to do that because it does stimulate. I mean, and then like I said, a lot of times
clearly I need a prescription of Percocet, right?
Right. That's it. There's just some morphine. Yeah, it's no big deal.
Right.
Some propofol. We just hooked the IV up. Michael Jackson it.
Sure.
Nothing bad could ever happen.
What could go wrong?
That's right.
Because you're that type of doctor that will just
I can totally
that will just hand me Percocet.
That's it. So the other thing, you're kind of not eating late. We're not doing the caffeine thing. Getting stressed out, stimulating stuff. We're trying to eliminate that in the evening. Not clock watching. Clock watching to stimulate your brain because your brain starts thinking about, oh gosh, I've got this long, I've got that long, I've got this, I got that. Laying in the bed too long, and so that's another thing. And then again, the bed is for sleeping and
fornication.
That's it.
Yes.
And I think all that's important. Other things that can help, sometimes taking a hot shower, because when you go to bed, what actually happens is your body temperature drops about a degree when we're trying to go to sleep. So if you warm yourself up and then you start cooling off, it actually helps you feel drowsy.
Oh.
Now, staying asleep's a different animal because that means something is just internally causing us trouble, whether that's you got to pee, whether that's your back hurts, whether that's I just woke up because I was thinking about 12 million other things that are going on.
Fornication.
Could be, right? Morning wood, right? So, all the things. So
midnight wood.
Right. Or all the time. It's like,
hey,
yo.
I just have wood.
That's it. Strong like bull. That's it. So
they call me baseball bat. That's the thing.
I like to tripod in bed. It's all right.
You're right.
It's all right. Oh my God.
So falling asleep is a thing.
Yes.
And when I say, I mean, a thing, there are times that like it's midnight and I'm still not asleep.
Right. So you've been laying in the bed at least an hour and a half.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you got to break that cycle and try to get out of the bed. Now, sometimes that doesn't work, so trying to break the cycle, sometimes it doesn't work. And that's when we're into, okay, the first thing is we probably would need to try something to help you fall asleep. And the good news is there's tons of medicines out there that actually will help you fall asleep.
Yeah.
Staying asleep's a different animal. There's really actually two medicines, and I think this is correct. Balsamra and Quvivic. Those are really the only two that actually work with your brain to help you stay asleep.
Yeah.
Okay, staying asleep's a different animal.
That's actually a bigger problem.
Okay.
So like falling asleep, it's like, but like staying asleep.
Yeah. Now, sometimes the meds for the falling asleep, because they typically it's a 4 to 6 hour half-life type of deal. It'll stay with you long enough so you'll stay asleep, if that makes sense.
Right.
So sometimes we'll get away with it. Some people, they're like, no, I fall asleep, no problem, which you're having a problem.
Right.
But that waking up in the middle of the, it's like 2 a.m. and you're like, oh my goodness, or 3 a.m. and you're saying, where's Matchbox 20? Whatever it is. And so that's where, that's Balsamra or Quvivic, and that those are the two for staying asleep.
You know what's funny is I actually still wake up almost, it's less and less as I've gotten older, but at 4:30 a.m. Mm-hmm. Because that's when I used to get up for morning radio.
Well, and so you're still conditioned.
Like,
you're still conditioned to some degree.
But I mean, I haven't done morning radio in a minute. It's been a while.
Yeah, but it's still kind of one of your passions. That's why we do. It's part of why we do this podcast.
True.
Is to help release it. So I think your brain still thinks about it.
I'm going to be Mark.
That's it, right? Right. We could get Frank on the podcast. Be like, well, he ditched them, and now he's on our podcast. Nah, Dave and Doc and Frank just doesn't.
Nah.
DDF.
No, it would have to be DDS.
Yeah, DDS.
So we could have
DDS. Don't go there with the DDS dentists. Anyway,
what do you call a med school dropout?
That's a dentist.
That's a Seinfeld joke. It's not a Dave joke.
Oh,
nothing against our dentist.
That's it. Yeah.
What a good gig.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
You just walk in the room for 2 seconds and say, "Yep, look good."
Yeah, that's it. Hygienist took care of you. That's enough. Don't go there. I'm having a good day. We're having a good day. This has been a good podcast. I don't want to get on that.
I like how they hire like the hottest of the hotties.
Stop. Oh my God. So for you, my friend, for your sleep, I really would try not laying in bed the whole time.
Yeah.
And seeing if you can break the cycle first. I would do the warm shower. I would not clock watch. I would really take a technology break for a good 30 minutes before you're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's where taking a shower or something like that helps, because it breaks the cycle because you're in the shower for, 10 minutes or whatever. I would try that. And if that's not working, I mean, the next thing would be melatonin. Now, the only thing about melatonin, there's debate about, does it actually decrease the natural production in your pineal gland of the melatonin? And it probably does a little bit, just because everything's hormone things are negative feedback loop. If you give yourself an exogenous source or external source, I mean, you're not going to necessarily make as much in the gland because you didn't need it. But if you're deficient and that's messing you up trying to fall asleep, I kind of caught that. You see that?
I like it.
That can certainly help. And it's very safe. It's not habit forming, anything like that. Then you're into like Benadryl, things like that. There's some debate if long-term use of antihistamines, you tried the ZQuil, it didn't really work. Does long-term antihistamine stuff that cross the blood-brain barrier, does that mess your memory up as you get older? It's kind of still open for discussion and debate.
Wait, do I take ZQuil? I can't remember.
Yeah, you tried the ZQuil.
I'm joking.
Yeah, right. Right. I
the memory.
Hey-o. You're so funny. See, we really should let you do the dad jokes, but that's kind of my segment. That's kind of my thing.
No, it's yours. It's all yours.
That's kind of my thing,
But so the ZQuil, here's the funny thing, like the ZQuil, sometimes it will like make me sleepy, and sometimes it just absolutely has no effect whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it's really hit or miss.
And a lot of people deal with that, and that's where it's just the way your clock is wound up when we're trying to go to bed. It's just off. And so then we're into medicines like Ambien, Lunesta, amitriptyline, trazodone, all those different things. Hydroxyzine, which is another antihistamine. Ambien and Lunesta, we don't really like those anymore. They're very much addictive. They very much have a correlation with dementia if you take them a long time. Yeah, pain medicine, they definitely don't want to do that. Benzodiazepines, which that's like Xanax and Klonopin and those things, those are not really favored because even if you're just taking it once a day, it is addictive.
Oh, sure.
And direct correlation with memory problems as you get older. Does it work? Absolutely. It 100% works because it puts your brain to sleep, but it causes problems. There's even debate now, trazodone, which is kind of the number one. That's the first line medicine for insomnia. Now there's debate, does that mess your brain up? And so basically the gist of it is anything that's going in there to help put your brain to sleep, everybody's concerned, well, does it cause dementia? Maybe, but we're also having people that are living longer. The average age actually went down a little bit, in 70s, it's like 78.4 or whatever. But because people are living longer, if you live long enough, everybody gets dementia. So it's like, well, is it because we were on this medicine, or is it just because we have a significant population now that is living longer? It's just to offset it, some people are dying younger. So I don't know. I have patients, they've been on trazodone prior to me seeing them, and so they've been on it probably at least 30 years probably.
Yeah.
And they have no memory problems at all. People that have been on long-term benzodiazepines that I inherited from prior physician, they tend to have some memory problems. So I really try to stay away from that if at all possible.
If I die young, bury me in satin.
Oh. I'm going to bury you in red leather. Red leather.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm good with that.
With one of those balls that you've got in your mouth with the choke chain and all that. I'm dressing you up. I'm going to dress you up in my love, all over you. Anyway, okay. Yeah. So what we would consider probably using a sleep aid, at least for a little bit. The other thing is keeping a journal sometimes helps if you have a lot of thoughts and things on your mind, just writing stuff down.
I do have a lot of thoughts.
So just start writing stuff down about 30 minutes before you want to go to bed. Just have you a little book, start putting stuff in there, and this is not going to be graded by an English professor, so there is no need. You don't have to worry about punctuation. You don't have to worry about transition sentences. It is not for content or grammar. You just write whatever you want. If it's the same thought 30 times, like, Pax is a beast. Lindsay's on my nerves.
I like hookers.
Whole lot of Rosie.
Whole lot of Rosie. Def Leppard.
Why does my penis itch? Whatever it is, you can write those things down, and then. But
I know what the problem is.
That's it.
No,
he suffers from the IP, the itchy penis at night. The IPAN. He got that IPAN syndrome. The key is when you finish, do not reread it. You close the book and do not, because if you reread it, you're just going to recycle it all into your brain. Yeah. So you just close the book, because eventually you'll run out of stuff to write down, and then you're ready, and then you've decompressed from everything that's going on.
So how would I know if there was like an issue like sleep apnea or something? Like
so number one, if we're snoring a lot, if we're not feeling rested, which right now we're in insomnia, so you're not feeling rested. But even if previous to when we were sleeping, if you felt like you weren't actually getting good rest, and you felt very tired when you first get up, you want to just go right back to bed, lay back down, middle of the day, you're like, gosh, I just need to lay down, take a nap. When those things are going on, certainly we worry about could sleep apnea or something be going on. That's where we say, okay, sleep study is not a bad idea. The first thing we would want to do is be making sure we can actually help you fall asleep and stay asleep. And then if we're still not feeling rested, then you sit there and say, okay, sleep apnea is certainly a possibility. Being overweight, having a thicker neck actually puts you at risk for sleep apnea.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's certainly something to keep in mind as well. So actually the things that you're doing in terms of working out, right? Losing weight, that actually helps reduce your risk of sleep apnea.
Yeah.
So you're doing good things for yourself in that regard. But we want you to be able to sleep first and then see what's happening once we're asleep. Because it is, sometimes people, they just have insomnia, and you fix that part of it, and then you have to worry. Other people, it's like, well, now I can go to sleep. I feel like I'm staying asleep. I don't feel like hung over from the medication per se, but middle of the day, I'm just yawning and just completely wiped out. It's like, okay, something else could be going on,
I think I'm just too attractive. I think that's the problem. It's hard.
I mean, when you got
hard.
it, you got it.
And I mean, I go on Instagram Live and I flash my guns, and then
big gun, ACDC, big gun,
and then I'm gonna.
You had to end it on that one, folks.
That was it. I don't know what to say.
It went the wrong way.
Episode 50, folks.
Yes, and so we'll fix Dave's insomnia for our next episode, and then we'll be right on it. Maybe you just need to call Snoop Dogg and roll to the next episode.
I need to. That's what I need to do.
I'm not a fan of the puff pass. That will get you in trouble.
Yeah, I've read that. That's
just saying.
Yeah. Maybe
like it's the gateway.
What if I drink a half a bottle of scotch?
It's the gateway. Night? I mean, you'll be out. You'd be wondering why
there problems.
You'd be wondering why you peed all over yourself, but that's okay.
Oh, I do that just for fun.
Oh, there you go. Do you drink it because it's sterile and you like the taste? Anyway. I do. Thank you, folks.
Is it necessary?
Is it necessary? Thank you, Canada. Thank you, China. Thank you, everybody that's listening. Thank you, local folks, for supporting us.
Yeah, absolutely. Local folks.
Appreciate y'all.
98% of the people that, 97% of the people that listen to us are right here in the Knoxville or
I appreciate that. That makes me happy. We appreciate y'all.
Thanks to your Germany. Thank you, Germany. I don't know why 2% of the people that listen to us are in Germany, but I'll take it. Whatever.
I like it.
We love you.
See y'all.
See you, folks.
Bye.
Bye.